Okay. So for my CAS projects, I have guided meditations and Sin Youth Club. And so for my investigation, since both of them are quite similar in that they both deal with mental health and uh, stability, I put them under the same thing. And the global issue is, of course, tackling mental illnesses and problems. Like through guided meditations, you kind of do that in that you create a space for yourself mentally. And through Sin Youth Club, you do that physically by engaging with other young people who have maybe the same problems. And how I found out about Sin Youth Club is that a girl named Nana came to our school and presented it, and I thought that it resonated with me, and that's why I wanted to do it. And the guided meditations, that was just because I meditated and I wanted to pass it on, I guess. And yeah, communities. Of course, the guided meditations are only for the school, but or for the boarding school, but Sin Youth Club is more broad and it's more local in that sense. So just starting with preparation for the guided meditations, in, what was it, August, 18th of August or 16th of August, I invited some of my friends into me and Sophie's apartment to, just so that I can try. And this I did 3 times before I decided to also do it in school. And so the research I did was started meditating more myself and without listening to guided meditations, or trying to do it myself, and reading mindfulness and the daily meditations, because they had some really good articles on how to start and how to guide others. And I asked Bettina, who's the head of the boarding school, if I could borrow a room for the meditations, and maybe also borrow some blankets, which she allowed. And she also encouraged me to make the placard, which you see up here. So that people would know. And then I made a little plan for the first 4 Thursdays. It's every Thursday from 7 and then half an hour, and wrote down some meditation techniques. And I remembered the speaker every time. And yeah, that was my action plan. And so the activity, like actually executing the meditations, it was very fun. It was a good challenge mentally. Also because, and also I posted every time I did the meditations on the Facebook, so that everyone would know. But yeah, it was different how many people that came. And I also got to experiment, like every time we first did like some kind of body scan to just calm down, and then some form of visualization. And then I got feedback from them, like, okay, so what did you think about this one? And mostly the feedback was good. And they really, sometimes I said, okay, so this was 20 minutes, and they were like, was that only 20 minutes? I thought it was 5 minutes. So that's also very nice to hear from people when you do stuff like this. So in terms of learning outcomes, I have developed personally, because, I haven't taught this before, and it's also a boundary because, like, I don't know anyone who teaches this. So actually saying, okay, I want to teach meditation, you don't hear that very often. And the planning, I had to plan the times, and I had to be perseverant in that, showing up every time. Except I planned to do it from November till March, but then Corona happened and stuff went down, and then I didn't do it in March, of course. But I'm gonna start meditating more in the summer break, because I haven't really been good at doing it, and then I'm gonna start up again after summer. Collaboration, so getting my friends to also try it out, and permission from Bettina, etc., and trying to solve global issues, in that, I'm doing this to try and combat maybe stress, because it's so prevalent, or like yeah, a lot of young people my age are very stressed, so including myself. So Sin Youth Club. So what I did for preparation was, after I told Nana that I wanted to participate, we had an introductory meeting and a board meeting where we picked out the people who wanted to be in the board, which I also wanted to be, and then we had a third meeting, which was prep for the reception and setting the plan for the shifts. And I had the task of writing down what was going on at the meeting, and Nana was only present for one meeting, which was the introduction, and then I had to call her up after every meeting and tell her this is what we went through and this is what our next meeting is going to be about. And yeah, then I'm gonna go through my tasks for the reception. I had to send out mails, which you can see up here. There are more mails, but that was just some of them. Me and Adrian made a cake for the reception. I wrote down a speech, which was very nerve-wracking, as you know, a lot of people came to the reception, including the mayor and our principal and people from the commune, etc. And then I had to talk in front of the school, which was also very nerve-wracking. So yeah, actively doing it. I've only been there twice because there were so many volunteers at the beginning, but now people have started to kind of be busy with other things, so we're not as many volunteers. But since I'm in Kolding, I can't be there physically, so I'm only through the summer break I'm gonna be present online, and we already tried during Corona to launch online meetings and kind of attract people to these online meetings, but it didn't really work, unfortunately. And yesterday I had a meeting with Nana and one of the other people from our club and a woman named Katrine from the commune about cooperating with each other. And then we are also planning to do a summer event, because we got money to do that, where we plan to go to a theme park or some kind of park. And actually, there was, did I say? No. There was not a lot of people at the beginning, but there started to come more young people to the club's meetings. So in terms of learning outcomes, I would say that personal growth is definitely the public speaking. I do like public speaking. It's not that, but it's when you talk in front of the school and when you talk in front of the mayor and stuff, it's just a notch harder, I feel. Plus I'm doing it as myself, I like acting, and so I've done stuff of like public speaking, but not as myself, so that was a challenge. And planning, prepare for the meetings, clubs, the reception, and that also ties together with the commitment, because I feel like if I hadn't been on the board, if I hadn't signed up to do that, I would be more easily laid back or not really taking so much responsibility. But I feel like I've tried to push myself by being on the board to take more responsibility and also commit more. Cooperation, consult everyone from the club every time you have an idea and talk to the mayor and getting people involved and stuff. I don't know where my 6 is. Okay, whatever. And yeah, learning outcomes 7 with ethics is also learning from our mistakes, because the first club meeting we had, we all went out shopping together, because we meet up, we make the food, we eat the food, and then we play some games and stuff. But there came a guy while we were out shopping, and he thought that we had closed or was closed, so he went away again, which was very sad. So we made sure that every time we had the clubs, someone would stay back in the club if someone were to come. And in regards to my summer vacation, I feel like I already talked about that a bit, but yeah, I'm gonna continue being present online. I'm gonna continue with my other cast stuff as well. So yeah, let me see how to